Hi there, this is Kathy Crow here at the Crow Cottage, and it is just so nice to see you. Thank you for joining me here in Springfield, Missouri. You can come and see me anytime you want to, as long as you've texted and contacted me and found out where I am. I would love to do classes and stuff again, but I haven't really been able to do that, but I've been really enjoying just sharing what I am doing for my family pretty much now. I do give cards away to a lot of people. And I need to get around, well, because I was reminded just in my brain where my mind is going that it is Veterans Day. So thank you so much for all of you veterans who have sacrificed so much to keep us in the wonderful living conditions that we have. We do really appreciate you for doing all the work you do all around the world and what you do at home here too. And for veterans, you may have served a long time ago, or you might be still serving. We don't know, but thank you so much. And I was just thinking, although not the same, shouldn't have necessarily been in the same vein, but I need to get my cards around to some of the senior living condition places, the about 55 and above plus. I think they'd appreciate having some cards, and I always have a pile to give. Anyhow, so today I am so excited to share with you something that's available. I went on to see, because it was gone like a couple of weeks ago. I knew it would be back. This is a really good one. This is Jolly Delivery. When I put the camera down, you will be able to see the words the right way. So cute. These little animals are just adorable. You are going to love those, but the paper that it's with is even better, and so are the dies. So I want to show those to you as well. And the little card I'm doing today, you're going to really like this one. This one's a cute one. I have it overlapping a little bit just to make sure it stays down. So it's a little gatefold, just this little gatefold. And then opens up, and you've got your little street scenes going there, and then there's plenty of room for writing, and you can extend your village onto the inside. So I've got lots of room for writing, because sometimes with my fancy folds, I personally don't like writing on the back. I do have a little label I sometimes put on that back to let them know that it's me. But this is a pretty oversized card, so you are going to maybe need to modify it, or I'm going to kind of tell you how to do it, okay? All right, so let's see. Anything else that I need to tell you? We have, in the Stampin' Up! World, a new catalog coming. I know we just aren't even done with the one that's there, but it is diminishing. There's not a lot of some of these things left, such as this one. This one's going to be there for a little while, but if you want it, you'd probably better get in and get it, because the suite's available. The suite wasn't available. The stamps and dies might have been. I know the stamps were, but it seems like those dies might have been on back order for a little while. Well, not back order. They're not really doing that anymore, but you can just keep checking back, and then when it comes, it'll say, if it says unavailable, then that means it's coming back. If it's just gone and you can't find it on the website, then that means most likely it's not coming back. Always check, though, really quick to see the online exclusives. A lot of things go there before they disappear. So just make sure you're typing in the title exactly as it is shown, not backwards, but accurately. And if it's available, it will come up. But anyhow, thank you for watching with me. I'm going to put my camera down. Hopefully it will flop over fine, and we will get started here. It is a very, very cold. You can see I'm wearing a warm sweater today, because it is cold, super cold. And we'll all be glad here in Springfield to get our warmer weather back again, because normally it's quite nice. And it's sunny. I'm happy for that, but that breeze is just, ooh, bitey. I did go out and work out this morning, but I made sure I wore my sweatpants, not just my thin knit pants, sweatpants and my sweatshirt. Normally I just wear a t-shirt. I did get a little too warm working out. It didn't work out. I worked out and got warm and ended up quitting a little earlier than normally because I was just too warm, heated up. But I went outside and cooled myself off in like 2 seconds. It was so chilly. All right, so I'm gonna find myself over here on the side and then be ready to start crafting with you. This is gonna be super fun. Now Stampin' Up! Has got some craft things going where they do a class that you can order. That's a wonderful news for people who like to do things with others. That's a chance that you have even if you live in a community that's far, far away, from everyone. That there's many people in that situation, and we really appreciate the fact that I'm trying to move this up so that the glare is off a little bit on that bulb. I don't know if it's gonna work. I think it is, because I kind of need this bulb right here for light. Otherwise it's just so dark. So I think that's gonna work. I'm gonna pull this back down again, but I think that might help some. All right, so anyhow, what we're gonna do here with this today is because this is a slim. I love slim cards. They're really fun. All you need is like one of the big number 10 type envelopes. I make them. You can buy envelope templates so that you can make it the color you want, and you can use our DSP and all in it. I'm really excited to show you this DSP. You're gonna really want it. But so this gatefold needs to be actually a gatefold, which is problematic for a slim card because they're so long, right? So we actually do start with a base that is this big. And this is not my Stampin' Up! White cardstock. I go down to the craft store and I buy what is, I believe, is it 17 or 16? It's probably 16 by, I don't even really remember. I'd have to get the pad to see exactly what it is. But I ended up cutting this piece. This is 17, so this is a 17-inch sheet. That is what it comes in. So you can get it. It comes in a tear-off pad. It's pretty thick cardstock, actually a little thicker than ours. Does not stamp up as nice, so I generally don't stamp on it. I mean, you can see it looks okay. It's just when you're coloring it, not so good. So, anyhow. That's here nor there right now. But this is so I just took this piece off of the sheet. It's a 17 by, I'm going to say 11, but I think it might be, I don't know, it's not 12. I know it's not 12. So it must be a 17 by 11 sheet pad. It's a pad of a ton of sheets. It's not tear off now that I'm thinking of it. Let me grab it, pull it over here so you can see what it looks like. And I don't even have any labels in it. So, it's just a nice thick sheet. I keep this for my fun folds. That way I don't have to worry too much about my measurements on a lot of things and trying to match up and having it be so weighty. A card can be really, really weighty if you're trying to do this with two 11-inch sheets. Because, of course, if you want to get a gatefold that's 17 inches like mine is, you would have to use 6 inches of another one, and you'd have to have a seam here to connect them. I personally would do the seam here. So if you're going to do that, this is actually 8 1/4 inches here. This is 8 1/4 inches, just a little longer than a slim fold normally is, but I wanted to get my whole village in. So it's 8 1/4 here. So in that case, your gatefold cuts. This is actually 4 1/8, but you would need to make it 5 inches here. And my arms are actually going to be 1.5 inches. So this is pretty big, but you really only need the arms to be 1.5 inches high. So it would come here and you would glue it on the back of here. Okay, but the thing is that, yeah, all that gluing, it just adds bulk, and I don't like it as well. So I'm going to stick with my 17 by 3 3/4 inch. Okay, so this is 17, and I'm actually going to I'm going to keep this as a template for my little slim folds, because I don't think I've seen this. I kind of made this one on my own. I don't think anyone else has done it. So 17 inches long, and I'm going to put my arrows so I know that it's going all the way from there to all the way to here for 17 inches. And then this direction, it's 3 3/4 all the way to there and all the way to there. Okay, and then I came in and I scored it at 4 1/8. Okay, so score 4 1/8 here, and it should be 4 1/8 on this side. Actually, this side's much longer. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what it will be if I keep it on this side. $12 1/4. Okay, so score 12 1/4 of an inch here. This is 4 1/8 of an inch if you're using a 17-inch long sheet like I am. And then I'm going to cut my arms, my little gatefold. Okay, so I'm just going to write this down so I know what I'm doing. Cut gatefold arms. I believe I had it at 1 1/2. Let me double check. Yes. So I'll put it like this. Arms, 1 1/2 inches. This way, this way. Okay, and then I'm going to actually dot that in so I know exactly what I'm talking about, because otherwise I might not. Let me measure it this way so I've got my 1 1/2 inch mark accurate. This is a very long ruler, and it's kind of hard to manage with my cut and emboss machine over there. 1 1/2. Okay, right there. All right, so then I'm going to just line that up, and then I'm going to do my little dotted line here. Well, I'll just do a faint line so that I kind of know what I'm talking about. And then that's my cut fold, my gate fold arms. And then this ends up getting cut out. Okay, so you're gonna see me create it, because now that I've used this as my template, I need to. It is a little bit trickier because my cutter only goes 12 inches. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a sheet of I probably have one in here that's cut somewhat. I do, because I cut, but there's one in here from what I did. So let's grab that. So we need 3 3/4, and I'm going to take this, and first of all, I'm going to just measure to make sure this is indeed 17 inches. I'm quite sure that it is, but let's make sure. Yes, it is. Okay, this is off, so I need this side to be the perfect side. And we're going to go ahead and do it at 3 3/4. So I'm going to just make a little mark here so I know where that is. 3 3/4. All right, and then, oh yes, my folds. So I'm going to score it at 4 1/8. So I'm going to mark that. right here, 4 1/8. Now, this is difficult to do with my machine right there. I'm gonna have to move you a little bit. And I don't really want these marks to show. So 4 1/8 is gonna be right here. And then 12 1/4 right there. Okay, so now those are going to be my fold lines. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna do the fold lines first, the score line, because I need to be able to fit it into my cutter to be able to cut the 3 3/4. So let me move all this stuff out of the way because I need to get my cutting machine out. So I went down to work out and did that, and it was great. But went outside to do my walk. I do a little walk at the end of that, and it was brisk, but it was nice. I really enjoyed it. It was a good workout. I had a good experience, so that was good. I actually felt pretty good today, I guess. Let me make sure I get my things here. Okay, so here's my fold line right in here. Let's put that in. It's right there, so we're gonna go ahead and score that right there. Okay, and then I'm gonna flip it around and I'm gonna score it on this one. Okay, and now that I've done that, I can fold. I really only needed to do one. Let me grab my eraser because I want to get those marks off of there. I really only needed to fold one, but I'm going to go ahead and just, I'll just fold one. I think both, no, it really won't fit in, so I'm going to fold both of them. And then this should be the right, yes it is. So now this is my cut line. Remember, this is 3 3/4. So 3 3/4, I'll put it right there. It does match up. It's a little, I was a little short on it. Okay, and there we go. Now we've got our gatefold all done, except for the arms. And now the arms are going to be 1 1/2 inches. You kind of have to do it like this. Okay, so if you can see let me get this out. This is my extra now. I don't need this. I'm actually going to go ahead and trim this other edge to line it, make it straight, because I can use this on another card. It's going to be a little skinnier. It's going to be more like 3 1/2, but that's okay. There. So now we've got another spare gatefold going. And this. All right. Now, here we go. So now what we're going to do is just cut the gatefold arm, and it's 1 1/2 inches. So pull it out here. Now it does fit in. It's just, it barely fits in under my cutter, but it does. Folded, it does. So 1 1/2 inches. So just get it to the 1 1/2. Remember, it's on the bottom. Now it doesn't matter at this point because there's no images. So if I cut it wrong, I could flip it around. But from your score line up is where you're going to want to do your cutting. Okay, so just get it right there on your score line and up. And then this side is the same way. We'll fold this side down. And let's just flip-flop it. Okay, and then 1 1/2 inches on this side though. I want to make sure I'm getting the right side. This is my 1 1/2, so I'm actually going to turn it over so I get it right. And 1 1/2 inches. Okay, we'll get my cutting blade. Right to that score line, right there. All right, so now you've got your gatefold arms. They should line up pretty good. If they don't, just like mine's off just a tiny bit. You can use your scissors or you can correct it. I might even just correct it, but I don't think I will. I think it can be like, it's super close. It could be that my cutting edge is just off a tiny bit. Sometimes I think people think they make mistakes when actually they aren't making mistakes. It's that your equipment's wearing out a little and you don't get things quite as perfect as you used to. And so don't always blame yourself. It could be you, but it might not be. I don't want to see the score lines, so this part's all going to get cut away. I'm going to just lay that in here and go on the side so that it's getting cut off. I'm going to have to put my board here so I can actually see what's going on. There we go. All right, so that piece is going to go off. And this side. Right like that. And then that's partly why you want to make sure that you've got your arms, you know, overlapping just a tiny bit. They don't need to overlap as much as I've got them. So if you want, and you decide which way you want it. I had this side over here, so I actually could cut some of that off, but I'm not going to do that right now. All right, now so for the other part, now we need the part that folds over, right? So this is another slim card, but you can use your regular cardstock for it. And we're going to score, the score line is actually going to be 3 3/4. So I'm going to put this sheet in here. This is my, this is 8.5 inches, so that will work because I'm at 8, right at about 8 inches there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and at 3 3/4, I'm going to put a score line in and fold it. And then I'm going to just cut that bottom part off. Now, if you wanted to be super fancy, you could probably put another fold in there and do something else, but that might start to get a little ridiculous. So this is just going to go right here or here, however you prefer it. I'm probably going to go ahead and just put it right on the top, and I'm going to glue it on there in just a minute. Now, at this point, this is where you need to know if you're going to do any ribbon. If you're going to do any ribbon with your fun fold, then you definitely want to be putting your ribbon on now. If it's here, if you want a ribbon to come and seal your gatefold, you want that ribbon to be glued between this and this. Okay? And in which case you would be wanting it to be like this, so that that ribbon is running behind here and it's going to go in and on top of your gatefold, which would work. But I'm not doing a ribbon, so we're going to go ahead and put this in here. All right. Now I do need my green. I'm doing garden. What is it? Garden green, I believe it is. This is one of our oldest greens. It's a very standard, nice Christmassy green. Okay, so we're going to use golden or garden. Why is golden in my brain? Garden green. Here are my scraps. I'll just put, this one's a good long scrap. I'll use it somewhere, I'm sure. And we're going to need a garden green. We need it to be 3 3/4 by, I believe this is 8, but I'll measure it just to be on the safe side. I'm not 100% sure. We're just doing we're just layering a sheet of green right here. You know what? That is a perfect width right there. So it's actually 8.5. Now, I know I didn't measure it at 8.5. It's a little longer than this. That's why I didn't trim it down. That's right. That's what I did. Let's see how that's gonna work, because I need this to be here. That means this card is, oh, it's too wide. Why did I do that? This has to be trimmed. So this has to be trimmed the same width as this. And if this is on the back side, it needs to be actually just a tiny bit smaller even than what this is. So let me grab my ruler again. Let me grab my smaller one. And we'll see what measurement I need this to be. So this is exactly 8 inches. So I'm going to cut this at just a hair under that. And I'm literally about the hair. I'm not even going to do a 1/16 of an inch wider on that. I'm going to pull this out. So we're going to go, there's the 1/8 and there's the hair. Okay? You don't want it any more than that. You can always take some off, but you can't add it back in. Okay, so now let's see how that looks. Because I don't want it showing under there, but I definitely want it to be workable. Okay, good. Now that's pretty good. It's still, is it a little long? No, it's just about perfect. I can't complain about that. All right, so very good. Since that is working out, it is just a tiny bit shorter. That means I'm gonna go this way on that. Okay, so what I've decided, because of the way I've cut it, this is just a tiny bit shorter. I kind of want it to be so that my arms fold in. Remember, I'm gonna have some village stuff in here, so I kind of want these arms to fold nicely over this. So I think what I'm gonna do is glue this together and then trim any side that I need to do. So this is going to just get glued right on the inside of this nice big slim base card that I just did. I was going to put some Christmas music on while doing this, and I tried to get my iTunes to load up onto the computer, which it did just fine, you know, one that I've never connected to it before. You know, that worked all just fine and dandy, but for whatever reason, my speaker wouldn't work with it. It said it connected when I connected it, but it wouldn't connect. It wasn't really connected. It was playing through the computer speaker. I was like, seriously? And if I mess with it, it'll be totally messed up, because we watch TV on that, and I didn't want to be struggling with it tonight to try to get it to connect, and so I just gave up. All right, so now that's glued nicely. So you can see you're still gonna, it's kind of gonna look like you have seams there. So if you did do your 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11, you would have your seam here and here. You know, you're gonna have a seam kind of looking like that no matter what. This actually would have been better probably the other direction, but I kind of messed it up when I cut this. When I did the hair, if I'd done just the 8, I probably would have been fine. But we're gonna trim this here like so. So that it looks all nice and even. All right, and there we go. Gatefold still looks good. This is coming down. And now this is going to be, should be 8, a little bit, you know, bigger than smaller than an 8. We're gonna go ahead and start with 8. So 8 inches long, and then we want this to be 3 3/4. Garden green, and then that's gonna get glued on right on top. I'm gonna go ahead and stick it on there the way I want it. And then we're gonna actually take a pencil. This looks like a 1/2 inch because that of course is 8.5 inches. So we're gonna take that 8 and put that in there and cut that 1/2 inch off. Okay, so here's my 8-inch mark, and there's my mark right there. So that is 8 inches by 3 3/4. And then you can glue this right on the top, like this. Jeff and I were gonna go to Branson a couple of days ago. No, this is Tuesday. We were gonna go yesterday. The weather was beautiful. We had 70-degree temperatures just 2 days ago. And then this little cold front, it's temporary. It's gonna go back to our regular temperatures tomorrow, but today it's still really cold. So I told Jeff, we were gonna go to Branson, but we're gonna wait and let it warm up because I don't wanna be walking around Silver Dollar City in this kind of cold. It's pretty cold out there. Okay, so once you get that glued on, you could check if you want to trim off any green that's showing you. Now's your time to do that. But I think my fold's gonna fold nicely. We're all set. All right, so now I get to show you this paper. This is such nice paper. You are gonna love this. It has your village already done for you. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting this sheet. This is the village sheet. But I want to show you all of these sheets. Look at this. Look at all these little bears and dogs. There's a bunny with a package. He's so cute. A badger. At least I guess that's what he is. Looks like a ground squirrel or chipmunk. An owl with a letter. A little mouse or hedgehog. He could be a mouse or a hedgehog. There's a little mouse. And another real squirrel flying along there. He's awfully cute. This is such cute paper. Now these you would have to fussy cut out, but it does come out with punch out things. So there's lots of cars. That one's a nice pool party on the back side. There's your postage stamps in garden green. But this is the sheet that's already done for you. So this is called North Pole Delivery. It's part of the suite with this stamp set, which is Jolly Delivery. And I've already used, as you can see, some of it. But these are all they just punch out. They punch out real easy. Like so easy that when you do punch them out, make sure you're collecting them. So I've got my whole little pile going over here. In fact, we're gonna use this house. So I'm gonna pull that out. I'm not using any of the animals in this set, but I might use some of the letters and things. I don't know. But here's the houses. Again, they just punch out. In fact, they fall right out. There were 2 sheets of this, right? No, one sheet of this and 1 sheet of these. Okay, so I'm going to use this Christmas shop for this card. And that other house that I already had punched out. And let's see, what else am I using? I guess I'm using one other little Christmas, the little Christmas cottage. Well, this one or this one. I'm going to use this one. I kind of like the pool party one better, but we'll do that when I've got a pool party theme going. Today is just a garden green. And then as needed, I'll pull out these. Oh, look at the cute little paw prints, postage. These are little postage things. And then you've got mailboxes already punched out. I mean, seriously, you don't even really have to do a whole lot of stamping if you just buy this paper. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's true. Oh, look at this squirrel. He's so cute. So this paper really put me in a holiday mood when I was doing this before. And there's the cars again, so there's another sheet of that. There's more animals, because I only had 1 sheet out. No, this has a petal pink background. Nice. Very nice. And packages. And that looks like, oh, I guess that's real red and very vanilla. And then animals, and then the houses. Oh yes, and then a whole sheet. On the back side of where these villages are, there's this whole sheet. If you don't have enough postage boxes and little tiny parcels and letters. So cute. So there's just an abundance of things you can do with this. And I want to show you the die, and we're going to do a little box today, just so you can see what that box die looks like. And these sheets will look really nice with that too. All right, so let me put this stuff on the side here, because I just need a little bit of it to finish out this card. And if I don't take care, all of this will start to disappear in under this table. All right, so we need this village sheet, because I need a big sheet of that for this. So we're going to take the village and we're going to make sure that it lines up the way we want it. This is perfect, because you want your little arms to come out over it, and these are on one street and this is on another street. I'm going to trim this top off just a hair, just a tiny bit, because I don't want my village to be like I don't know, it really wouldn't matter. I guess I could leave it the way it is. I think it'll be okay. Let's just go for it. So if this is 3 3/4, so we want to cut this at 3 1/2. Now that's going to be a little bit big. Normally you cut it down with 1/4. I might want it to be just a little bigger, just to be on the safe side for this go round, and then I can trim it if I want to. Okay, because I'm thinking an 1/8 inch border would be better than a 1/4 inch border. I don't want a lot of green showing, so that's kind of a small amount of green. I think we're going to trim off just a smidgen, not quite an 1/8 of an inch of it off, almost. Actually, that is about a 1/16 of an inch off, and then that will be a perfect edged border. And then this was 8 inches, so, oops, let's get my arm out. There's the 8 inches, so we want 7 3/4, and I'm gonna go to 7 7/8. We're gonna do 7 7/8 just to be sure. And then if I need to trim any of that off, no, I won't. That's going to be perfect. So 7 7/8 of that DSP. I don't think you're going to need that cutting board now for a while. I think that's good. All right, now this is going to get glued on right there in the middle. Oh, so sweet. I am going to grab clear glue over here, because this is a pretty long skinny piece and I don't want to have glue hardening as I try to get it all arranged on here. So there we go. Get nice borders on the sides. Perfect. So now you've got your little gatefold folding, so your houses are going to look like they're on this other street right in front of. So cute. And then we're going to just put those on for dimensionals. I did want to do the larger of the, we're going to do the larger of the mailboxes. So I punched that out back there. So this is why this is so cute. You know, I mean, you just don't have to have any time at all into this, and you've made this really wonderful little Christmas card for somebody who likes fancy cards. Yay, is that the last? No, those are minis. I haven't even used that one yet. Where's the one I've used? There's minis. wow, I must be down to one last bit. So we will use the last of my scrap. Now when you put this on, one of these needs to be here. Okay, but it's kind of nice to have it tucked in. So this way, this is going to get tucked in and this house is going to hold that arm down. Okay, so I'm going to just put the sticky, my little dimensional sticky where I want that to go. And I'm going to go ahead and bring it down all the way. I don't really want to put anything in front of these houses. The animals are not, you know, they're not the same size. They're not to scale here. So that and like that. All right, so we're going to put that down. That's going to tuck in here, right there. Okay, it kind of doesn't tuck in as well as I'd probably like it to, but it will when I do my bone folder and really score that down. Okay. Or burnish it, I guess is the right term. All right, now this one right here, we'll put here, and you can glue it or you can use dimensionals, whichever you prefer. I kind of like the dimensionals. They look really good. You don't want it on the top because that's going to be up here. Make sure it's down low enough. Okay. There. And then our little Christmas village here. Or and if you wanted to tuck in another one, you could probably, I don't know. Anyway, there are other things you could be tucking in here if you wanted more stuff. All right, so everything has to be kind of where this awning is and below. I was going to go down to the park until I realized, whew, it is very, very cold out here. So I think just that one walk around the track, I went an extra bit around the track and kept my pace up nicely and was fine, but real glad to get back into the car when I was done. And then I stopped at the grocery store to get my broccoli really quick, and I was home and staying tucked inside today where it's nice and toasty. All right, isn't that cute? All right, now so you can keep adding things as you wish to this front part. I kind of wanted to save some room for my label. The label I used is on this stamp set. It's the, where is your stamp set? There you are. It's special delivery from the North Pole. So there's 2 stamps to do with it. I'm going to use this piece right here, and we're going to do that in garden green. And you guys just won't stay put. There's from the North Pole. Where's special delivery? There it is. Special delivery from the North Pole. So just take your block and you can put your words right on it the way you want it to fit. And I'm going to get my die and make sure that it's going to, I had it upside down. I'm going to make sure it's going to fit in there. So the dies that I used for this one, the little pointy one is is available. I believe they're still available. Again, even if they are temporarily out, they'll be back. This is one I've been using a whole lot of. For this set, I used it, I think, exclusively. Now, where did I put you? There you are. Oh, traditional labels. So this is a die set. It's just these, but it came with words only, a stamp words, but it has this little pointer label. And these are not just stitched, they're fancy stitched. They're really nice. And this is gonna fit in here really, really cute. Okay, it's perfect, but it does need to fit my words. So I'm gonna fit this over here and make sure that I've got those together enough that it's gonna work. And you can just stamp one at a time because they're clear. You don't have to line it up like this. In fact, I think I better do that. I'm afraid I'm gonna get one crooked if I don't do it one at a time. So we'll do special delivery right there. Take that one off, and then from the North Pole, right below it. But up as close as you can get it. Okay, we'll put those away and then we'll cut those out. So cute. And then the other sentiment I'm going to use is here too. This one goes on the inside of the card, so I might as well stamp it while we're here. It's our Merry Christmas. It's going to go right on the inside, up here at the top. Merry Christmas and happy wishes. And if it's just you sending it, you could say from me to you, because that's in here too. There's also hoping this Christmas is the most magical yet. Sending merry tidings. There's just like a whole bunch of nice Christmas little sentiments. They're pretty small. So this is going to be one that you would want if you're going to use these sentiments. The cover one, you can find one that's larger, but the other ones, you're going to have plenty of room to write on. Okay, this little house, I'm going to have this one fitting in here right at the top with another little mailbox right next to it. So, grab that. Okay, so we're going to put a little mailbox like right here. These need to just be glued down. So that the card will lie flat. This would make a really cute little kit to send to your grandkids. If I thought they might actually like doing Christmas cards, this would be perfect for them. And I see something like that happening in the future, but I don't want to overwhelm them with it. I don't want them to ever feel like I expect them to do stuff, because that just is no fun, okay? No fun at all. Now you can have your fun little animals running along too. I'm going to use the cars more, I think. The animals are just, like I said, they're just a little bit on the big side. Like, here's this kitty cat. He's the little mouse. You know, isn't that cute, the little kitty cat? Very cute. I mean, since it's far enough away from the house, you could do it. It's like no big deal. He's pretty cute. I might even do him because he's black and white. There is another one that's pretty cute too. Where are you? Oh, it's the little, this one. I like this one. He's going the wrong way, but that one's pretty cute too. I like the tabby one. Are you a cat person? Oh man, I think most of the people who follow me are dog people. I actually prefer dogs, but cats are great as long as they are in someone else's yard. I don't really like them messing around with our yard. We've got bird feeders for one thing, and I don't like them eating our cardinals, which they do. And of course, they're not even, they're neighbor pets. It's not like they're hungry. They don't need anything. They just catch them and kill them just for fun. And that's one reason I don't like cats very much. All right, so we're gonna take this little die. Where did I lay it? There it is. And we're gonna cut this out. And then I'm gonna put a garden green backing on it. So to do that, I'm gonna need to cut 2 of this size. So I'm gonna do that while I've got the cutter out. We're gonna cut that, and then we'll be about done with this card, and then we can go real quick to the box. That's gonna go super fast, I think. Generally it does. And you can get on with your day. Now I want this to be pointing towards my village. So we'll do it there. I think I'm gonna put it low enough. If there's room to do anything, I think I wanna do it at the bottom. Actually, I don't know that I'll need to though. Well, you know, like little dots or anything. I'm trying to see where will I want dots, on the top or the bottom. I don't know, so I'm gonna not worry about that right now. There's a whole bunch of nice Christmas play things going on all over the place. And I thought we were going to do something like that, but we really didn't end up planning for that. And then this cold weather's kind of put a damper on my enthusiasm for getting out too much for now. Maybe in a bit. Okay, so here's another scrap of garden green, and I'm going to just fold it over because I want to do two of these, and I'm trying to get this done in a fairly quick amount of time. So, oh come on, there we go. So we'll run this through a couple of times. There's 1, 2, 3. Let's do 4 just to be sure, since I had extra layers going there. Perfect. All right, so now we have our 2 pieces. If I can get them separated. What did I do with my dies? You could use one of these other ones, but I actually want it to fit right along the point of this. So to do that, what you're going to want to do is you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut one in half this way, and you're going to cut the other one in half. I don't know that I would do it right on the point. You don't really want it to be on the point because I want that point to show here like this. Okay, so we're gonna go like that, and then this one is gonna go like that. Okay, there's gonna be a little separation, but it won't show when you have this part on as well. Okay, if that makes sense. I'm just trying to get one side does the edges, and this one has a fault. What did I do? I don't know. Let's cut another one because that one's faulty. I don't know how that happened. Oh, because that's what happened. That's what happens when you double things up. You don't always know what's going on down there. That's why. Foolish, foolish me. Oh, it would help if I had all of the cutting plates on here. There you are. Let's try that again. Silly. There. I was wondering why it wouldn't cut. It's a through. I only had one cutting plate on there. All right, so now we'll try that again and have hopefully a little bit better piece to work with. And since I had to cut another one, then I'm gonna go ahead and just cut it like this. Well, why not? It doesn't matter if it's bigger, I'll just keep it together. And we're gonna go like this here. Okay. This, I don't know if this is gonna work, but let's see if it does. I think it will. All right, so for this one, we're gonna put the glue on my label. Stay on there. Okay, and get it in position. You don't want a lot of extra showing there, just a little bit. You want to be able to see those little stitches. They're so cute. Okay, and then this one's gonna go on this end. Like that. Okay, and now this is gonna go here, and we'll get the edge here. You do have a little bit of zigzag. That really can't be helped. Unless you did another piece. I mean, you could, but it's really not necessary. You can also just trim it. You can you can just glue it on a piece of green and trim it, but I wanted to have my point all nice and, you know, right there. So this is a good way to do that. I wanted my stitched point. Let's see, which way do you go? There's how you go. Like that. All right, and so like if you were like super fussy, since I've done extra pieces now, you could go ahead and finish it out, but it's completely unnecessary. Okay, so I could if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do it. It is fine. So now we're gonna put our card together and finish. That one goes there, this goes here. We're gonna tuck our little flap in, and this is gonna stick in right here, just on the gatefold. I don't really want it anywhere else. So I'm gonna glue that on right there. Okay, so that opens up. All right, and then the other thing we're gonna do is put, you could do little pieces, little packages there. I've got my little cars, so I'm gonna grab from the side here a little punch out cars. Okay, so we've got our little red car. We've got very fun little, you know, ice cream deals going here. If this is an ice cream shop, that would be perfect for a little ice cream shop. Right there. It's a little large, but all right, there's a car. Where's the other cars? Oh, there's a sleigh, a dog with a sleigh. I love that. He's so cute. I don't want the pink car. Here's the green one. Perfect. I'm not so much into pink cars. Maybe Mary Kay people, you might like that. I've got two pink cars for anybody who wants that. If you want another vehicle and it doesn't happen to be any of those, you can just fussy cut around the one you want. There's this cute little pickup right there. in this really big sheet. And that way you get them going in the direction you want, because there's a variety on this sheet going every which way. It doesn't have to be very perfect. Very perfect. We were watching American Pickers last night, and they were looking at a pic of a guy who had like tons of old records, and it was really interesting. We love watching that show. It's so fun. Okay, so a car would be a hard fit in here. He's gonna look like he's hitting things, you know. You could put him like right on the top. It actually looks pretty good like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and put these on the inside arm, just to give my inside stuff, you know, something to look at too. So we're gonna put one. I did have one up here, but instead I'm gonna put this one here, and we're gonna put this one here. Have them racing along for my own little Christmas village. So many people already have their Christmas decorations up here. It's amazing. I'm beginning to feel like a little bit of a slacker. Okay, I'm going to cover up my label a little bit there with this car. And I still am toying with the idea of putting this car in here, but it's not going to fit. If I'd moved my stuff around, I could have better, but I'm not going to worry about it. All right, now the only other thing I feel like I really need here, other than maybe something that I might stick in that little spot, like, you know, a little teeny tiny Christmas tree. That wouldn't be bad, just something small. But it's the dots. So we've got little iridescent dots that are really nice. But you also might just have a whole bunch of clear dots. I've always got a bunch of clear dots. So I'm just going to grab those, and I'm going to put those right here, just like for snow. This is called Elegant Faceted Gems. So they actually are faceted, which is kind of nice. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do 4. This is going to help weight down this arm a bit more too. There. Okay, I might put a couple down here. One of the tiny ones. 1, 2, 3. There. All right. That is our little fun fold. I hope you enjoy using that design. And let's do the box. Now, I think you're going to want to use, you might want to use one of these labels for the box. I'm not sure if I'm going to find that necessary, so we will see. But first of all, what you need to do is just get a piece of paper that's going to be big enough for it. Your 8.5 by 11 will fit there. The thing is that you've got to make it, it's got to fit in this cutting machine, and it does. You just have to kind of turn it a little bit. Okay, so let me put this over here so you can see what I'm talking about. This is a 6-inch wide space. It's a little wider because the actual cutting thing is 6 inches wide. But you can't just run this through here. It's got to be just a tiny bit off like this. So whenever you cut your paper, make sure it's going to be right here at the edge, because that's all that can fit in. So I'm going to turn this on its side like this. Put this side here, And then I'm going to just use my scissors to trim really close to that edge right there. Then I know it's going to fit right in here. Okay. My box is going to be garden green. You can do yours however you want. But one thing that looks really good with this is if you emboss one of the little sides. So the box fits together. There are little, I'll show you the little tabs that close it. In fact, I needed to run it through with it. Let me grab the dies. I should have done it while it was running. I just kind of forgot at the minute. But inside, it's very cute. There's 1, 2, 3 little fasteners that fasten this box together. And I needed to put those in with that die and just forgot to. So anyhow, there's a circle, a star, and a heart. Any of them will work. I'm gonna do the circle. And then all it does is it cuts it out on the side that is gonna attach here. Okay, but it needs to be exactly in the right spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put, since I didn't do it with width, like I should have, there's actually little notches here so that your placement is perfect. Right here. And that's why I should have had this in here so that it cut with the pass-through, but I didn't. So I'm gonna lay this on here exactly the way it was. And put this little guy in here with the notches right where they should be. You want to make sure it lies flat. Don't get anything underneath another or you'll ruin your die. It'll bend it. I'm speaking from experience. So you don't want to do that. And now it should cut a nice little flap there. Okay, so that it lifts up. There's little folds right there. So cute. Now that part is going to go, you know, here under here. This is the top. It's going to layer on. So we're going to do another one of these without that little cut. Okay, so you need, I think you need 2 of these to assemble this. I've only done one and I kind of forgot how to do it, but it's pretty straightforward. So we're going to do one more. And I should have just done my little fastener one with this one. I don't know why I didn't. That was very foolish. That's okay. All right, so here's the second one. I thought you only needed 1. Obviously, you've got to have 2. We'll figure it out. All right, so there's my second one. Pretty sure you need 2. Throw away my scraps. I've got them all over the place. Anyway, those guys, those pickers, they were picking some phonograph equipment. Do you remember that? The old turntable. And oh man, these people, they had like tons and tons of stuff. It was really cool. All right, so this one, yeah, you know, I just kind of forget how this works. Fold this up. Maybe you don't need to, but I thought you did. So take your bone folder and burnish all of the folds. Okay, so you can see what's what. And then if you're going to emboss anything, it does look really cool with one piece embossed, but I kind of forget how that works. Why didn't I give myself some instructions? I don't know. I'll figure it out. Because you have to have another piece on this. This isn't... Isn't going to work otherwise. Right? What am I missing here? I'm missing something. All right. And this goes there. This goes there. Because, oh, I see it does. Oh, I see. This is it. It's all inclusive. Oh, brother. Yeah, I gotcha. All right, so because when you glue the tabs, it's all together. It's inclusive. This folds under, that goes under. But I really wanted it embossed here. So when I did my box, at this point, I stopped and I put my embossing folder down and embossed this whole side, I believe is what I did. The other option you could do is just emboss a piece of green and just lay it on there. That actually would work as well. But I'm going to grab my little box. You know, I tried this with where is my box? Oh, there you are. Oh, I made this online already. I've got 2 of them over there, so I know I did this already once. All right, so I already showed you how to emboss it because I did it with my previous video. So if you want to know how I did it, it looks like I just embossed this whole thing. And then when I put it together, you do have to be careful. If your embossing folder is super deep, then it might tear a little bit where these tabs are. So I would use one that's not a 3D embossing folder. This is like Timeless Tile or something. And then I just took ink and rubbed it to give that nice aged look to it. It's pretty nice. But this is really a super cute deal anyway. So now all you need is glue, or if you want to use tape, that'll work. If you want to stamp anything, you better do it now. If you want anything stamped right on it. This is going to go underneath, so this goes on top. That's going to fold. There's really not room for anything stamped on the front. You're going to want an actual label going on here. So that being the case, I'm trying to think how I want to do this. I think you could just use, your DSP, because I did do that with this. This is that pretty snowflake. This is soft succulent that we had quite a while ago. And, it's very shimmery. It's real pretty. And, but because of this being kind of flimsy, I did an extra circle and just glued it on there. Because this is kind of lightweight paper. And if you're going to be doing it with any homemade treats, you're going to need to have a little bit of space in there for some parchment paper or something to put down around your food, or have it wrapped, because this is not food grade paper. All right, so those are my little boxes that are pre-done, although it needs something in it so that I can actually fasten this properly. When they're empty, they're harder to work with. So let's go ahead and just get the glue on here and assemble this. You can do it pretty quick. You do need some clips, because that glue is going to set up fast. So let's see if I've got clips that are going to be the right. These are huge. I don't know if these will work, but we'll see. They might. There's one. There's 2. You're not letting me do it. Let's do this side. This side's already setting up. Like, you are set. And you're almost set. This one almost is, which is good because it actually stayed where I wanted it to. All right, so now while those finish, you could do a little tag. I have a tag down here. Let's look at this one. This is from our little pine paper that I did already. And I think that'll look really nice on it. It's kind of large. Maybe we want a smaller version of it. I really like the banner. I use that on one of the other cards, and it's super cute. Let's see, that's still kind of big. That one's not bad. Let's use that one. I'm just gonna cut this on the side over here. You can't really see the stitching. It's really pretty. It's got a stitch and a line, a stitch and a line. It's gorgeous. I love these dies. They're really nice. And this little box die is super cute too. It's really cute. Okay, I think that's stuck good. All right, so then those just fold down, this folds down, this goes in here. I might have to stick something inside it just to weight it down and give me some then to push against. Oh, that's too fat. What do I have that will work? Maybe a washi tape. Aha, that'll work. I'll pretend I'm sending washi tape. Okay, so there we go. Isn't that cute? It's perfect size for like little mints, those Ghirardelli chocolates. You can't go wrong with those. They're so cute. All right, but you want, if you're gonna put your label on there, that's not gonna work, is it? So this does pretty much have to go on this side. If you're gonna do anything like that, I actually think I would rather use our little people, little guys, and we'll just do a cute little something with one of our little, the bear, the dog, or I don't know. We'll get a few over here and we'll decide which one we want to do. Because there's a variety. That's cute. The bear's cute. That little guy's cute. This guy's cute. That's cute too. Any of them are good. All of them will work. They're so sweet, but you do need a little label that says for you, and it's right here. From here to there with the little paw prints. Well, if we're going to do little paw prints, we have to use the dog. Okay? There's these little hearts, so this would be a set you could use for Valentine's if you're done with all the Christmas stuff. You finished all of that. You don't want it anymore. That will work. The stamp set has this cute little, with this bear that I showed you, has this little bear that's looking at him really, really sweetly. All right, instead of doing that, we're gonna just stamp. I've decided, I had a piece of white, where is it? It had like squirrels on it. Let's do that. So I don't want the squirrels. That was my practice squirrels, so we're done with you. And we'll just use this as a scrap here. And I'm going to go ahead and just stamp on the label that I'm going to actually use. Let's see, that one's perfect. So I'm going to cut this one out, and then we'll just stamp right on it and be done with our decorating for it, rather than cutting the DSP and doing, or I know the one that was punched out already ready to go, but I do really like those paw prints. I think I want to use those. So let's grab the paw prints first. And then we'll figure out the rest as we go. Okay, are those black? Oh, those are gonna be black. I don't know if I want black paw prints on there. Okay, I better stick the pet on and see where we want that. Here he is. The little dog, he's so cute. So we're gonna put him here. So his little paw prints, let's put him, well, we'll put him here. I don't know, I'm not so sure now. I don't know if I'm gonna want those paw prints on here at all, because they don't really match his walk at all. Scrap. All right, and one more. Very cute. Okay, so now we've got his little paw prints on there, and we'll put the little dog on here. And you can do your sentiment. I would do it in garden green, so let me put my black away, since that's our main color. I've got, for my neighbor now, I'm gonna have a cute little card and a little treat box all ready for her. And my neighbors and I really do like sharing our little treats back and forth. Since I don't cook or bake anymore, hardly ever, I have to purchase them, but I found these wonderful. Oh, sending Merry Tidings. Oh, fun. Merry Christmas and Happy Wishes, though. You can't beat that. So we're going to just go back to it. Merry Christmas. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. We are going to not get to see Christmas Carol this year as a play. We did go and see that last year. It was so fun. Was that last year? No, I bet it was the year before. No, but it might have been last year. I think it was. So many things happened last year, and I was thinking maybe it couldn't have possibly been last year, but now that I'm thinking about it, I believe it had to have been. Now, if you have pens, wonderful. If you don't, you can always use your pencils. I think we don't have a garden green per se. I don't think. A blending pen, but this spruce one's pretty close. We're gonna just do a little bit here and a little bit there. I'm gonna make this letter nice and green. It's gonna have kind of a light green sweater. We'll blend this in a bit more here in a second. That's actually blending pretty well. You could use your mint macaron if you've got that one. It's pretty much the same color. And then for our cute little dog, we're gonna use my old So Saffron. This is kind of running out. I don't think there's enough old saffron in there anymore. We'll have to go with something brown. We'll use this brown one. Overfilled my Copic pen, so I have to be careful not to make a big mess. Perfect. Little black nose and we'll be all set. Black nose. How about gray nose? This is a dark gray granite, but that will work. All right, very good. And now we're ready for that to go on and we will be done. Right there. That's so cute. A little ribbon if you want to. I'm gonna just not. I'm not doing the ribbon because the problem is a ribbon over here is gonna be problematic. So I'm gonna just do that. And that, and this little package is ready to go for my neighbor next door. But I will not give her a used piece of washi tape. I will get that out and we'll find something fun for her. She'll appreciate it. All right, so that was that. We are all done for today. Those are our projects that we made. I hope you have a wonderful day. And you can always message me if you have a question about anything. I can try to answer it. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. And I think I've got a couple more videos for this. Oh, wow. I probably got, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 here yet to go before we get to Christmas. Maybe just 4. I'm not sure. I won't be doing one on the week of Christmas, I don't believe, but I never really know what I can get to and what I can't until the moment actually arises. And I've been doing better than I expected during all of these holiday visits. We've been visiting our family here and there. So that has been fun. And trying to think, there's a, for you who are demonstrators, there is a new sneak peek at a new catalog coming up that we will be able to order from in December, I believe. And then, actually, is that correct? I think we might be able to start ordering from it here in November, right at the end. I kind of forget. But those of you who are not demonstrators, you'll be able to order from it in January. That's when the catalog's going to open up, and it's going to have a bunch of new holiday things, I'm sure, in it, and that's always fun. Christmas will be past, so if you want any Christmas things, this is your last chance. You don't have a lot of time left to actually make things and get things ready for Christmas and not feel too rushed. So God bless you and all the things that you do trying to make other people happy. Remembering it is because Jesus died for us that we have this joy in our hearts. So thank you so much for sharing this with me. Share it with others. And they don't even have to know about Jesus. It's nice to be able to just show love all over the place anyway, whether they want to know him or not. We always want them to and pray for them too, because he's only wonderful and will make your life fantastic, even in the troubles that come everyone's way. So you have a blessed week. We're coming up to Thanksgiving. Wow, very soon now. So I hope that you are able to get together with friends and family and have a good holiday time. And I will see you next week. I think that's it. Bye.